Development Corporation. I'm on the board of directors. We are partners with the Marion County Council of Governments, and Renata Wakely is their Community Development Director, and she is great at helping us connect with resources. We are partners with Marion County and Economic Development. So we have very highly qualified economic partners, and what I'm hoping that we can, through our commission, is increase our effectiveness in partnering with those very capable and skilled professionals. The last thing I want to hit on with our business and economics is our workforce development. Thank you for being here today. Our young people getting prepared for life with a plan, that it doesn't end with that diploma. Ooh, I got that diploma. Oh, now what? I don't know. Well, maybe I'll go to college. Well, that sounds like a good idea. What do you want to study? I don't know. Not very effective. And parents don't have a lot of money to throw at that. Sure, I'll pay for you to go to college and not know what you're going to be doing. But even more importantly, the young people who are coming through our high schools, they want to have a plan beyond high school. They want to know where they're going. That's why the students who take career and technical classes, either through CTEC, the Career Technical Education Center, or our 6 mainstream high schools, if they even take one career technical class, do you know what happens to the graduation rate among those students? It jumps up to 88%. CTEC is even higher. Why? Because those students have a plan. Now they have a reason to go not only get that diploma, that's not the end game for them. That's just on their way toward life and success. That's where you come in as business professionals. Mentoring those students is critical for them being able to develop that long-range vision, the opportunities for them in business and in life, things that they may not have considered, but you come up to them and say, you know what? I've seen the kind of work you do. I think that you might want to explore this industry or that skill. I think you've got some potential here. Speaking that positive, goal-setting, visionary words into those young people goes a very, very long way, and you can be part of that. The third area I want to kind of cover today is infrastructure. So part of our businesses is being able to get from place to place and provide basic services, which is what the city does. I like what our city manager says, that the cities are in the business of doing things that nobody else can make a profit at. So that's why we do it. We collectively come together and we provide these services because we need them for civilized life. So we have road maintenance. And yes, after this winter, we're going to need a lot of it. But our streets department is already on that. We already have the list being developed on where we're going to do paving and repairs. And looking farther out, the plan for funding and doing the work to repave River Road, which is now getting near the end of its life cycle for this particular layer of asphalt, that is in the works as well. You will be seeing that come forward. Now, that's an expensive little proposition. I don't know if you've looked at paving projects recently. That is some big dollars. Why can we even talk about that? We set aside, we have a transportation system plan that looks at not only what do we need right now, but it projects out. What do we need in the next 5 years, 10 years? And we have projects teed up, ready to go. As the dollars become available, we know where those dollars need to go, what we got to get done, and we get on it. To make sure our roadways, our bike lanes, our sidewalks, that we can continue to maintain and then add to those systems. Now, I could talk about transportation a whole lot, so I'm not going to put you to sleep with it, because I've been doing this for 11 years now. Thank you, Lori. I'm on the Salem-Keizer Area Transportation Study, which oversees the federal dollars for our area, and I'm the chair. I'm also on the Area Commission for Transportation, which is the 3-county partnership for statewide transportation planning. Working with these wonderful people in this area, we see not only how our roads, our sidewalks, our bike lanes are within our city boundaries, but how they fit into transportation, the whole ecosystem in here in the Mid-Willamette Valley. Because when you go from Keizer to Salem, that road doesn't end. We want to just keep on going. Your businesses depend on that. The ability for people to get to jobs depends on it. So all transportation modes are critical to the health and vitality of our business and livability in our community. So we have our transportation system plan, and last night during our goal setting, the council has proposed that we will take another look at the transportation system plan, update it. It's 8 years old. We've done a lot of it. Let's take another look, make sure that we're still where we need to be in today's world with more people here, more businesses here, and new types of businesses that are coming to Keizer. Is our plan still relevant? Probably. Is it all that it can be? Probably not anymore. We need to make sure it's updated and ready to go for us, so when those dollars come in, we're good to go. Shovel ready? Oh yeah, we can deliver. The other thing, so we can deliver here. We're also working collaboratively, and there might be a little project you've heard about that a couple people have talked about a couple of times. Has anybody heard about a third bridge? Yeah, 40 years, I think, this has been discussed in our area, getting across the Willamette River in a safe and efficient manner. We have the two bridges, one way, one the other, and we are so critically underserved in our ability to move east and west. We've got north-south pretty well locked down. Yes, I-5 needs some additional lanes. We get that. And the state's working on funding for that. But we've got to be able to move east-west, folks. How many of you do business in West Salem or all the way to the coast? Okay. People are moving across the river. Thank you, Mr. Wallery. Mr. West Salem Wallery's Pizza. Absolutely. If we're going to go have Wallery's Pizza, we got to go across the bridge. We could solve that. He can deliver, but he's got to come across the bridge. We've got to be able to move people and goods and services across east and west. We are not a north-south linear community. So the third bridge is critical not only to Salem or Salem-Keizer. This is a regionally important and significant project. And if we don't do it now, we're going to be back at this again another 10 years going, dang, why didn't they do that? So let me give you a quick update where we're at. The jurisdictions in this area have approved the urban growth boundary expansion. I gotta watch out for those acronyms, they'll be the death of me, to take in the footprint of the bridge. The environmental impact statement is nearing completion, and once it's done, it gets shipped off to Washington, D.C. to approve the corridor where the bridge can go. Once we get that approval, we can start looking at funding packages. We have been working with our congressional delegation. They know this is coming, and they know we're going to be making the ask. We've been keeping our legislators informed about the need for this bridge, and I would encourage you to also have those conversations. They've got to hear from the people who live here, who work here, who want to be able to have their families be able to be here and travel safely and efficiently across the river. So please, if you have any questions about the Third Bridge project, salemrivercrossing.org is the website where the videos and all the information regarding the environmental impact statement is housed. Stay tuned. So, where are we at? The city of Keizer has less than 100 employees. They are very talented, dedicated professionals. So we're not talking that we have a large number of entry-level employees. They do cost a little bit more. But trust me, the value that you get when you have senior people in your organizations, senior in terms of experience, in terms of wisdom, and in terms of connections, you get a huge bang for the buck. The city of Keizer does the same. We are seeing turnover as some people are retiring out, and we're bringing on some incredibly talented next generation of employees in the city of Keizer. They want to work here. Why? It's a great place to work because you're a great community to serve. Keizer has no long-term debt. Not in terms of this community center. This was not financed. This was paid for. We have the ability then to look at projects and see if we can bring them, and we try to fund them and have things fully funded, or at least know where those dollars are coming from. In transportation, those dollars are dedicated. What comes in for transportation stays in transportation. What comes in from your water, sewer, and stormwater stays there. If we try to move them, it's what Chris colorfully calls a orange jumpsuit offense. We're not doing it. Those dollars were there for a purpose. They are mandated to stay there. That's what they're for. So when you look at our overall budget, it's about $35, $36 million. Well, that should be enough. Our general fund is $10 million, and it is flatlined. Well, what does the general fund pay for? Our general fund pays for parks, police, planning, administration. This facility is part of the general fund. So those basic core things that we do outside of streets and roads and our water systems are general fund. Your property taxes, general fund. The franchise fees, general fund. The quote-unquote sin taxes, alcohol, tobacco, general fund. The revenues we get from transient occupancy tax and from the use of this center, general fund. The Budget Committee, which is the 7 council members plus 7 members of the community, look at allocating those funds every year. And we try to get as much value and bang for the buck that we can, because it's our money paying for our services to keep our city going forward. But there are some things that are outside of our control. PERS, the Public Employee Retirement System. Somebody thought they were really smart years ago and cut what they thought was a tremendous deal on how we're going to have a defined benefit into the future, and well, I can't imagine that our return on investment would go below 8%. Does anybody here have a loan that's high, that is that high anymore? Our interest rates plummeted, and they didn't think about that when they struck this great deal. We're now paying for it. We, as in the cities, counties, school districts, all government agencies that have PERS are paying for it. We cannot control that expense, but it comes out of general fund. So even as our property taxes have risen the prescribed 3%, we've brought on more properties, so we've had a little bit better return. The fact is that a lot of that benefit is going straight into paying for our PERS obligation. And the number 2 expense that we don't entirely control is health insurance. I want to give kudos, though, to our Human Resources Department. Boy, can they negotiate a deal. And they've done a great job keeping our health insurance costs minimal as much as possible. But those are beyond the level of increase in our property taxes. And they're draining our general fund. If you had something in your business budget that was more than what you could afford, you're going to have to raise your rates to pay for that. Your business needs to make a profit. The city doesn't make a profit, but we have to pay the bills. We cannot incur debt. We have to have a balanced budget. That is mandated. And we work diligently to make sure that every dollar counts. That is why about a year ago, we started a couple of very important processes. The Parks Survey. And if you haven't done the Parks Survey and you are a resident of Keizer, please go to our website. We're going to close it down effective midnight tomorrow night, the 15th. We have been asking people in the community, tell us, would you be willing to pay for additional funding for parks? We run our 19-park system on $336,000 a year. That's it. Over 250 acres, 1.8 FTE, full-time employees, and some seasonals in the summer. $336,000. Do we get mileage out of our dollars? Oh yeah, we do. But we need more. And we're asking people to have the conversation about if we pay $2 a month, $4, $6, or $8, what we as a city can do with those dollars to make our park system healthy, safe, and then ready for future park patrons. Please go to the survey, fill it out, learn more about how we do parks in Keizer. But we have to maintain them. We can't do it with just volunteers anymore. When you're driving those 2 hours in the car, you're not going to come, and maybe people do come and they pick up in the park, and I'm more power to them. But we have to be responsible with our parks. That means we all need to be paying something to make sure that we can maintain them. How am I doing on time, Danielle?
I'm over here. Just probably 2 more minutes.
Okay. Then I'm going to finish up with one more thing, and that is police. We are operating with 37 police. Again, very low number for 38,000 people. And we've been able to make it work because we have very talented police and a chief who understands how to institute best practices. The fact is we need 5 more positions. And for $4 per month per household, we can fund all 5 positions. This would be a fee. Some people call it a tax. I don't care what you call it. It is money coming from you to the city for a purpose. Every single dollar that we get is our money that we are entrusted with to take care of and get the value for you. So you're going to be weighing in on that through budget. We're going to be weighing in on that at the city council level. We need to fund our parks appropriately. We need to fund our police appropriately. In closing, Keizer is a vibrant community that works. We chose Keizer as our home, as our place to do business, because it works. We want to be here because it's a great place. Keizer is now old enough to have to deal with issues of replacing and maintaining the things that we have built, and to pay for them in a systemic and long-range fashion. Keizer's resourceful. We're generous. We're creative. And we're connected. I have something to celebrate every single day by being the mayor of this great city. And I hope that you take a moment every day to celebrate the wonderful things that Keizer is and will continue to be. Thank you very much.